So the B-1 visa is a business visa for the US, right? And it really allows people for the B-1 visa to go into the United States for up to 6 months. What it's really intended for are people who, just a B-1 visa, really for people who are not ESTA eligible, meaning countries such as Russian or Romanian, okay? So these are people, or Brazilian. You're not ESTA eligible, but you need to go there for business purposes, right? You need to go to a conference for 3 days. The B-1 visa is really great to apply for because then it allows you access to the United States and to go to different conferences, potentially meet with US colleagues, and really network in the United States. The B-1 visa and the requirements, they really are, for one, what's the purpose of your trip? Why are you going there? And two, what ties do you have to your home country, right? So if you are a student, and let's say you're an Indian national and you are a student, you don't really have ties to your home country. You don't have potentially, well, let's say you're 19 years old. You probably don't have a family, you don't have a job that's pulling you there, and the B-1 visa is really, you could go there and potentially be lost within the United States once you enter. And so the consulate really wants to see, what are your ties? Do you have property in your home country? Do you have a job, which is a very strong point? Do you have a family, right? Do you have a spouse or children in your home country that you're probably gonna have to come back to? Because they wanna make sure that after your business trip, you come back. And that's gonna be really the main point for the B-1 visa during the application. What the visa office has told me, and that is basically a US authority explaining how visas work. What they have said, and their information that they have provided, is that everything that one can do under a B-1 visa, which is business, conferences, networking, meeting with colleagues, right? Simple business activities can be done under ESTA. And so if you are ESTA eligible, I really do think that in your thinking about doing a B-1, I do think that you should speak with Van Heller lawyer, because then we need to understand why, because you are at high risk of denial. And again, if you are denied for a B-1 visa and you are ESTA eligible, you lose your ESTA for the rest of your life, basically, which is a big problem. And so this is why I think some people think that you can do more under the B-1 visa, but that's not the case. You can do everything under the B-1 visa under ESTA. You can just stay longer under the B-1. But that's where the risk comes in, where you go to a consulate and say, I want to do business trips for 6 months straight. Looks a bit off, and so you might have to have more documentation and, of course, speak with the lawyer to understand, okay, is there investment plans going on, and why can't ESTA be used? For the B-1 visa, it's an individual visa. So your family members can accompany you. They would probably, let's say you're going to a conference, right? You're an Indian national going to a conference in the US, and your family wants to visit you or come with you, right? They would get B-2 visas. So that would be a tourism visa, because they're, your kids probably aren't going to the conference with you, but they'll be at least able to come to the US with you. So there are also options to have a B-1 and B-2 visa, meaning, let's say you go in for a conference for a week, and then you stay for 2 more weeks for vacation or for a holiday. You can do that under a B-1, B-2. Under a B-1, it's only business. Under a B-2, it's only tourism. Yes, so the B-1 visa is all based on nationality. So for Germans, it's going to be 10 years valid, and it can be extended. For other nationalities, it could just be 1 year. It could be 6 months, could be 3 years. So make sure, of course, to check with the nationality, check to see how long you have, and then basically if you do need to update it, you can go back to your consulate appointment and then basically bring the documents you brought to your first appointment. So Van Heller can help by really just doing the full appointment for you, right? So we book the appointment, we can have a preparational call beforehand so you're aware of what questions might be asked. But also, if you are a national who is ESTA eligible, and you're thinking about a B-1 visa, I really think that you should speak to someone at Vinheller or a US lawyer, really to make sure that what you're asking for is acceptable under the laws.